Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. Desperate people. Desperate measures.
Fight or flight, they choose to run.
Every day, people run from the law.
Chasing the suspect.
They take the big chance.
He lost it.
They risk their lives.
Holding on to the railing.
The lives of the police. And the lives of anyone who gets in their way.
He's gonna hijack this car.
Much of what you see tonight has never been seen before. This is footage provided by police and news agencies from around the world, so that we may understand the full extent of the problem. Because if you're an innocent bystander caught in the middle of a chase, you need to know what to expect. This isn't just a problem for the people who run. It's a problem for all of us, for everyone on the road.
Oh, he dropped!
I'm Sheriff John Bonnell. When it comes to pursuits, this is the cop's best friend. Almost no one can outrun police cars and a helicopter, but they keep trying. Sometimes it's pure adrenaline, fight or flight. That one moment of panic that can lead to a lifetime of regret. So keep your seatbelt on. What we're about to show you will change your thinking about police pursuits forever. Houston, Texas. The entire police department is mobilized looking for 3 bank robbers.
We've got a maroon sedan in sight, leading northbound.
A car guns its engines.
Use caution, these suspects are armed.
What the police don't realize is that they aren't following the bank robbers. These are 2 novice housebreakers on their way home from a job. They thought the sirens were meant for them, so they ran, and the police followed. The burglars panic and barrel into a crowded intersection.
He's cutting through the intersection to the far left. Oh, he just took a hit. He just took a hit.
One suspect thinks he can escape, but with the cops approaching from both directions, the only way to go is down. Then he realizes his mistake.
Looks like he's holding on to the railing. He is holding on to the railing. Oh, he dropped. He dropped. The suspect dropped from the railing.
He tumbles 3 stories onto the concrete below.
He's up and running. He's up and running.
Incredibly, he continues on pure adrenaline.
He's headed for the woods on the far side. No officers in sight here.
He's in the clear. Police have no way to stop him, except intimidation. This chopper pilot swoops in and cuts off the suspect's path.
Okay, he stopped running. The police are right on top of him.
It works.
He's surrendering to the helicopter.
This thief was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And he took the fall. But somewhere today in the city of Houston are 3 very lucky bank robbers. Charlotte, North Carolina. A man has stolen a car that is almost perfect for outracing pursuing officers. A Mercedes-Benz 400 SE with 300 horses under the hood.
Come on, guys, you gotta move, gotta move, gotta move.
But waiting in the wings is a secret weapon. A South Carolina trooper driving a super-equipped Ford Mustang.
Oh, he ain't going nowhere.
The smaller Mustang dogs the more powerful Benz relentlessly. Other vehicles like this motorcycle gladly give way. When 2 trucks block the road ahead, the suspect passes on the right and quickly races off. The frustrated trooper has to wait.
I can't get by these trucks.
Watch again. He blitzes past the double rig on the right, coming within inches of these merging cars. Other units quickly catch up to him, but traffic is thick now and the suspect swerves right into a construction zone. The officer tries to block the Benz from escaping. He smashes directly into the side of the big German car. But again, the Mercedes muscles its way through.
Going back to South Carolina.
Back on surface streets, the officer catches up, pulling even with the suspect. But up ahead, a van, headed straight for them. From the unit behind, we see the suspect playing a dangerous game of chicken. To save an innocent life, the trooper pulls aside and lets the Mercedes pass.
You had to do it, bud.
Down the road, the Mercedes loses the Mustang by turning on a dime into a gas station.
Somebody get in front of it.
The other officers quickly take up the slack. A trooper tries to force the Mercedes to spin out, but this Benz was built to hug the road, and it's not letting go. This elegant German car is falling apart. To make matters worse, it's now rush hour, and the suspect is headed back to the freeway. Officers need to end this chase now.
All right, Jack, right here. I'm coming up behind.
A determined trooper rides the suspect's bumper. The Mercedes begins to swerve, but hangs on. One more nudge, and the Mercedes goes flying up the freeway on-ramp out of control. And this chase is over. What used to be an $85,000 luxury sedan is now scrapped. What used to be a car thief is now an inmate, serving 20 years. And the South Carolina Mustang, still chasing them down. Cherokee County, Oklahoma. Pursuit of a stolen truck with an innocent passenger. 110 miles per hour.
Visual glimpses of him every now and then. He's still northbound on Highway 10. I'm gaining on him.
The culprit has already pulled way ahead of the slower police truck.
Got the guy off too and set up the roadblocks to be shut down.
The driver of the stolen truck veers across the yellow line, blindly hoping other cars won't be there. Neither he nor his passenger know that tragedy is just seconds away.
He's almost got one head on. No, he's lost it. He's lost it, Cherokee County. He's rolling. Oh, no, he ejected one.
Unbelievably, the suspect jumps over his friend as he tries to get away.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground right now! Give me those hands! Let me see the hands!
This officer is still shaken by those terrible 4 seconds as the truck rolls and tumbles, tossing the passenger out the window. Incredibly, the young man comes within inches of being crushed. But he survives to stand trial. The driver thought he could get away.
He's lost it, Cherokee County.
He thought wrong.
As soon as a chase happens, you're trying to figure out why the person's running. That's the first thing you think of, but that kind of goes away because then you've got to focus on catching them.
Mesa, Arizona, 6 a.m. The early morning quiet is shredded with sirens as an all-night surveillance finally pays off. The cops want to talk to them about a string of car burglaries, but these guys don't intend to talk to anyone. The police radio ahead to put down spike strips. It works. All 4 tires are punctured instantly. But the suspects aren't stopping. In fact, driving on the rims, they only speed up. Reckless? Of course. These guys are betting their very lives against the next several years in prison. This is desperation. But these guys plan to run till the wheels fall off. And finally they do. The tires just can't take anymore. The officer expects the suspects to keep going, and he's ready for their next move. One more time, training versus desperation. The training pays off again.
You have the driver in custody.
Officers know that if this guy hadn't been caught tonight, he'd be out there ripping off your car tomorrow.
126-124, make sure you get those stop sticks out of the road.
High fives for a job well done. Nobody, but nobody can outrun the cops and the helicopter. Too crazy to be on the road, too foolish to get off the road, too confused to find the road. They're in trouble. On the run and out of their mind.
Training and experience. That's the difference between them and us. Sometimes, when there's no other way, when they have to be stopped, it's the difference between life and death.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, he hits that truck. He hits that truck. This guy is reckless.
The 2 men in this minivan are young, scared, and on the run from the law.
Allegedly, they were seen breaking into a tobacco store.
Their van is filled with stolen goods, and these 2 crooks are willing to take wild chances.
They are flying through these alleys. They're just shooting across the streets. If anyone comes into this alley right now, they just wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah, we're probably a visual on the suspect.
I see patrol cars now, and traffic is really getting... Oh! He hit a 4x4 and smashed right into that building.
The woman and her young child in the red Bronco are shaken, but alive.
The police are pulling up, passengers out, and he's running. He's running well ahead.
Be advised, it is a foot pursuit at this time.
This man is really running. He's over that fence. There's an officer behind. Wait a minute. He is down. He is not getting up. He's putting his hands up to be cuffed.
Dispatch, we need the ambulance out here.
The woman and child were rushed to the hospital. With the energy of youth and the panic of jail time, this kid has reason to outrun anything. The boys pled guilty, and the oldest was sentenced to 7 years in prison. Driving at these speeds, they were lucky it wasn't manslaughter. Motorcycles. They're more nimble than cars. They're quicker than cars. And they're more deadly than cars. Motorcyclists are a daring breed, but when they run from the law, it's not daring. It's just plain dumb. In Texas, this suspect can't shake the police on surface streets or in parking lots. So he decides to hit the highway, going the wrong direction. But even with this lunatic stunt, he can't lose the cop behind him. So he ditches the bike, thinking he'll outrun the cop on foot. Wrong. The cyclist couldn't believe the cop would follow him the wrong way. But with oncoming traffic this slow, staying on him was easy. San Diego, California. The man on this powerful motorcycle is an example of just how daring and relentless it can get. Police have tried to pull him over for reckless driving, but they haven't seen anything yet. At nearly 100 miles an hour, the suspect slashes through highway traffic. Trapped, the suspect decides to go where no cop is willing to follow.
The guy is going to be taking a U-turn. This guy is going the wrong way on the freeway, on-ramp. Do not follow the pursuit. Able will call it.
Then when the cops close in again, our speed merchant starts to make mistakes. He thinks he spotted a shortcut off-road where he can lose the police.
Going into a cemetery up here.
But like the cockroach in the Roach Motel, he can get in, but there's no way out.
It's going to dump it right here. Yeah.
Reacting too fast, he loses control on the dirt and tumbles off his bike. But miraculously, he hops to his feet. Not a scratch on him. Daring, dumb, and very lucky. The man on this bike pulls over and calmly waits for his ticket. He knows that from a dead stop, no car can match his bike's awesome acceleration. So when the cop steps out of the car, the biker cranks up that 4-stroke V-twin engine and starts to fly. With electronic fuel injection and horsepower to burn, there's only one thing this bike doesn't have: a skilled rider. This genius decides to swerve right in front of the cop and then hit his brakes. Lucky to be alive. It's a pleasant afternoon near Dallas, Texas, and the owner of this car is not happy.
I said, "Stop! You're stealing my car!" I tried jumping over so I could catch him through the window or something, and he hit me with the front tire and just took off and peeled off down the road.
Now this poor guy's car is being driven by a lead-footed car thief.
I'd advise anybody that's aware of this, pull over and get out of the way, because this is very dangerous in rush hour traffic. You can imagine that 80
Light,
to 90
fast,
miles an hour
and
for the first few
maneuverable,
minutes, but he's
this
not
little
alive.
Nissan proves that size doesn't matter.
He's in the median. Looks like he may be crossing over into oncoming traffic here. Let's see if we can keep an eye on it. Looks like he may get back on the road again.
Exiting the highway, he sideswipes a car and narrowly misses a dump truck as he carves a path into the grassy shoulder.
Dump truck there.
Then he makes a mistake.
Looks like this may be coming to an end here.
The car thief finds himself in a parking lot, trapped by the Texas DPS.
It looks like DPS is going to be able to box him in here.
But it ain't over till it's over.
Oh, I can't believe that he made it around that police car.
Next, in a bizarre twist of fate, the culprit is stopped by a simple traffic light.
Yeah, looks like he's stopping. He's getting out. He's on foot. You can see this long-haired individual without a shirt on.
Shirtless and sure-footed, the car thief makes a mad dash for freedom.
He's in an industrial area just north of Fair Park, climbing a fence.
He almost makes it until a mechanic spots him and points him out to police.
He's right down below us.
And just when the wrath of Texas is about to catch up to him, he gives up. His smartest move yet.
He jumped over the fence, then he was trying to hide on the restroom. Then police just came by and got him.
All the wild driving, insane maneuvers, and crazy chances get you one thing in Texas.
It looks like they've got him in custody. And,
Busted.
He is handcuffed.
Police officers encountering juveniles in a police situation sometimes have to treat them just as deadly as their adult counterparts.
West Springfield, Massachusetts.
police are in pursuit of a stolen car.
We're going to assume primary lead here.
But Officer Murray would soon learn that this is the most dangerous kind of driver.
Okay, it looks like 4 subjects.
A 14-year-old who's never driven before in his life. All he knows is what he's seen in the movies. He thinks he can imitate the stuntmen and swerve through traffic untouched.
He's going to split these 2 cars. He's going to try to split them. Oh, he made it through.
He also thinks that if he reaches the state line, the cops will have to break off the chase. He's wrong again.
We're going to continue. We're coming up on the line. We have authorization to continue.
The kid sees a cop still behind him. He panics, hitting the gas. But at speeds at over 100 miles an hour, he could get them all killed. Officers decide to give them room.
We'll fall back and let them ride with it.
But the driver's inexperience catches up with him.
We're getting off at 49, getting off at 49. Okay, he lost it. He lost it on the ramp. Lost it on the ramp. Get an ambulance here, ASAP.
He takes a 30-mile-an-hour off-ramp at over 80 and skids out of control. Then reality comes crashing down.
Don't move! Don't move!
Officer Murray is relieved to see they're all alive. The teenager who's been playing outlaw is about to get treated like one. The young driver immediately acts 14 again.
I'm not moving, I promise. I'm not moving. Before we ask you any questions, you understand your rights.
After an hour of mayhem on the freeway, it's a miracle these teens will live to see adulthood. And police are covering every path. When everyone is out to get you. When panic is your only friend. How far do you really think you'll get? A stolen ambulance. Cops from 2 states on its tail. The ambulance swerves into oncoming traffic, then barrels back into the right lane, kicking up a cloud of dust. The cops know that if they don't end this soon, this ambulance thief will be a danger not only to himself, but to everyone on the road.
Head your way. Try and block him in.
A police car swings around to the left to try to box him in, but the ambulance fights back. The cop car nudges the ambulance closer to the side of the road. Suddenly, a passenger car in front of him gets entangled in the mayhem. This attempt has to be called off. The ambulance thief keeps police at bay, swerving back and forth until finally, he nearly topples onto his side. And this thief decides to give up and get out of this ambulance. Before he really needs one. Reading, England. 2 suspects are fleeing from a violent home burglary. So far, they've managed to keep ahead of pursuing officers. But the police have a plan.
I wouldn't be at all surprised to see the police attempt a rolling block here.
Can we try and get a couple of traffic cars in front of the offending vehicle?
At over 90 miles an hour, the police prepare for a rolling roadblock.
These suspects are about to run into a wall of slowed-down traffic up ahead.
Pulling down in lane 3 into the near side. Hard shoulder, onto the hard shoulder.
A few yards ahead, the first police cars are waiting, but the suspects blow right by them.
Unbelievable. They've gone right through the block.
What happens next is an incredible display of skill and daring. As the suspects throw their loot out the window, 2 officers race ahead.
Second police vehicle just got past.
If they can get the vehicle completely surrounded, they may have a chance. With 2 cars blocking the way just ahead, another one quickly moves up in the near lane to seal off any escape. It works.
They've done it. They're boxed in.
Now they just have to keep them there. A 5th unmarked unit barrels up the shoulder for reinforcement. Suddenly, the suspects see an opening. They go for it.
These officers are right on top of these suspects.
Take him out, take him out.
The squeeze is on.
They're actually forcing this car to the side of the road. What a brilliant maneuver.
They stay right on top of them until the suspects run out of road. And then there's nowhere else to go.
We have a stop.
They're high-centered on the guardrail. This chase is over. When you're trying to do something like this at 90 miles an hour, you better know what you're doing. Because if you do it right, the crooks go to jail for 5 years. And everyone else goes home, alive.
No further assistance required.
Every chase must come to an end at some time. Most fleeing crooks reach a breaking point, but others try death-defying stunts, even though there's no possible chance for escape.
Atlanta, Georgia. A 4x4 full of renegade youngsters refuses to stop for pursuing officers. The squad cars pull up alongside the 3 suspects, trying to stop the speeding vehicle. But the suspects make a quick move.
Suspect Just made a right turn off the highway.
Suddenly, a driver in a red Mustang challenges the 4x4.
Now, what we're trying to bird dog him down, Mustang here.
Blocked both in front and from behind, the suspects make a bold right turn. But they still can't lose the cops.
51 is not slowing down.
Another quick turn causes the suspects to lose speed. With nowhere else to go, they jump. Most chases end when the suspect gets cornered by the police. But you can bet there's always some idiot who refuses to be taken without a fight. Just outside Atlanta, Georgia, a late-night outing turns into a crazed attempt to escape when the suspects choose to run from the law. The officers pin the vehicle in place. But the unrelenting driver still tries to squeeze through the police barricade. Finally, officers stop the madman in his tracks. The police following this car know that the driver is drunk, crazy, and has a loaded shotgun at his side. They think he's about to surrender when suddenly he blasts out the passenger side window. Then proceeds to toss his shotgun out of the car. He throws a few beer cans out the window, for some reason changes his clothes, and incredibly he pulls over waving a white flag. Booze, bullets, and brain disorders make for a deadly cocktail. Police officers know that a chase isn't always over when it appears to be. Some criminals are so desperate, they'll try anything. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. Or is it?
And as I turned, I noticed somebody had jumped in and stole my car.
His $40,000 sports car is suddenly taken from in front of this donut shop. His buddy offers to help.
I left my soda and my donuts on the table and just said, come on, John, let's go get your car. Let's go get them.
The chase is on. The stolen vehicle races toward a construction site in the middle of a bridge. It's here the suspects make a big mistake. They have no room to maneuver and no room to stop. Watch as a surprised worker scrambles for safety. It's now a foot chase, and Roselli and the cops are right behind them. Now watch carefully as the driver's legs disappear over the side of the bridge. He actually jumps 50 feet into the ice-cold Delaware River. His accomplice is not quite that brave. An air bubble trapped under his jacket allows the jumper to float to safety. Before their trial for suspected car theft, both men were released on bail. They fled, and now are fugitives from the law.
We never want someone to get hurt trying to help us, but sometimes the help that we get can end the chase.
Chicago, Illinois.
This brown and beige pickup truck surrounded by squad cars is traveling at high speeds. The subject inside that car is wanted for a homicide.
The situation spells danger. Police suspect the man has a gun. They want him stopped before he uses it.
The local police have closed off all traffic just in front of us. He's been weaving back and forth from lane to lane. He's coming off the left shoulder now.
The suspect careens past traffic, and the Chicago PD can't stop him.
Hey, head your way. Try and block him in. Shut him down right there. Shut him down right there.
Two squad cars try to box him in. But as the suspect attempts to pass, he slams into a police car and tears off the bumper.
He's just struck a police car and gone past him. He's traveling southbound in excess of 80 to 85 miles per hour.
The suspect sees the road is blocked ahead, but he still has one chance. He dives across 4 lanes, and now he heads toward the shoulder.
He's now going to take a dive off onto the right shoulder with a Palos Heights squad car in hot pursuit. We have at least 20 squad cars which are chasing this subject. He is going to try and run this roadblock. He's gone off onto the side into the grass.
The truck keeps going as the suspect starts running.
A foot pursuit on the foot pursuit.
Oh, yes, we have a foot pursuit on the freeway.
He jumps the fence and makes a final mad dash for freedom.
A lot of state police squad cars are now chasing the suspect on foot. They have him running through the parking lot.
Suddenly, a mystery man comes out of nowhere. He sees the chase, and without missing a beat, he throws himself in harm's way.
He bravely holds the suspected murderer as cops swarm the scene and take it from there.
See other officers that are coming up from the Illinois State Police, Palos Hills, Palos Heights, Willow Springs, LaGrange, Hinsdale. They have now subdued him. He is in custody here.
A dangerous chase brought to a dramatic conclusion by this courageous citizen who found himself in the right place at the right time. Into the night, under the gun, over the top, and right into custody. These guys aren't going anywhere. Los Angeles, California. This young punker would be hard to miss anywhere. And even though his bright red hair is covered up with a hat, it's not hard for cops to spot him in this junked-out truck.
Advised, suspect headed eastbound on the 10.
They want to talk to him about a possible hit and run from the day before. But this car isn't stopping. He isn't speeding either. He's just acting like the cops weren't there.
Okay, this guy's not stopping. He's not slowing down.
10-4, I copy, unit is in pursuit.
Now 4 black and whites are getting impatient. They call the units ahead to stop him.
Be advised, he's coming right at you.
But the kid spots the cops ahead laying down a spike strip.
He's in the number 2 lane. The suspect's now coming up on the spike strip. The officers are spread across the road. And the suspect, he just swerved over. He swerved over to avoid the strip.
But he can't avoid it entirely. The razor-sharp spikes tear dime-sized holes into his tires.
It looked like he was able to avoid 2 tires, but his left side was hit. This pursuit may terminate.
But it looks like this kid doesn't intend to give up.
The rim is smoking. You can even see some flames right now. Tire is on fire. He's completely running on the rim of that tire.
He loses speed, but this chase is far from over. The cops keep their distance, waiting to see what he's going to do. The suspect keeps his cool, oblivious to the drama around him. He even takes a slug from his water bottle. But those blown-out tires aren't going to hold up forever.
Suspect is pulling over. Watch out for possible foot pursuit.
The car is still rolling, but he's already making a run for it. But not the way you would expect.
Suspect is pulling over now. He's stopping. He's getting out. He's getting out. The suspect is now running. It's now a foot chase.
As if there was all the time in the world, the suspect trots across the road.
He's running away from officers into the brush right now. Officers are chasing him.
All ground units, be advised, suspect on foot.
Without looking back, he calmly climbs over this fence. He casually cuts across the train tracks. He bounds over another fence, narrowly missing the clutches of an officer. Now, with no one behind him, apparently thinking he's lost them, he slows to a walk. Big mistake.
Okay, we now have police units that are now on the surface street approaching him.
Maybe he should look where he's going.
Doesn't realize it yet. He doesn't see those cop cars. There we go.
Cops tackle him and he's down. A long and very unusual chase. But finally, it's over. Not only has this young man lost his truck, he just lost his freedom. Smyrna, Georgia. Sometimes the term car chase isn't exactly what you expect. A woman is pulled over for speeding at the top of this hill. But the officer who caught her forgets to put his squad car in park. Slowly, he realizes that something is not quite right. And the chase is on. Fast on his feet, the officer's back behind the wheel to finish writing that ticket. Maybe he'll give the woman a break. After all, a moving violation can happen to anyone.
Generally speaking, the law enforcement aircraft will be lower than the news helicopters because the officers in the helicopter are directing officers on the ground to the suspect.
Deep in the Arizona desert, local police pick up the trail of a bizarre carjacker on a dangerous joyride.
I'm advised when this subject is heavily armed.
This man has carjacked 6 different cars, one after another, all taken at gunpoint.
They've got a suspect boxed in.
There's 16. He's not going to be able to get out of that.
The police are out of their cars, moving in for the takedown.
Careful there.
Suddenly, the driver darts away, leaving the police running behind him.
Hey, here it goes. In the wash.
Hey, that's your way. Try and block him in. Shut him down right there. Shut him down right there.
In his haste to get away, the suspect drives deep into a gulch.
I'm in a ditch right now.
He fills the desert air with clouds of smoke as he spins his wheels.
Oh, he's backing up.
The unit is driving.
But this Blazer isn't built to stay stuck in a ditch.
Yep, got out of the ditch.
He passes squad car after squad car.
300 meters blew by me. Southbound.
The officers learn the man behind the wheel of the stolen car is most likely high on methamphetamine.
Okay, watch yourself. This guy could be on drugs.
They know too well the destruction this drug can cause. Back on city streets, the driver puts more lives at risk.
He's going to run right through that light. He's going to make a turn. Here he comes, right through.
Then he spots his next carjacking victim, a young woman and her child. Right in front of police officers, he insanely tries to make her his 7th victim.
Oh, look at this. He's going to hijack this car. He's going to hijack this car right now.
But the cops aren't fooling anymore.
He's running. Okay, he has nowhere to go. Here he goes. Okay, he's got his hands up. He's got his hands up.
Officers are finally able to take him down.
Come in. Somebody come in.
But the young mother is still shaken.
He jumped out of his car and came around and tried to get in my door. And I had locked my doors, and so he was trying to get in my door.
When the speed wears off, the driver faces 15 counts from aggravated assault to drug possession. Now sober, what he says to the judge reveals a firm grasp of the obvious.
I don't know what the hell was going on in my head. You know, just go. I don't even know where I was trying to go.
The chases that must be terminated. The suspects that must be stopped.
He's going to hijack this car.
Sometimes the only way to do it is the hard way. Greenwood, Indiana.
Roll the window down.
This Chevy pickup looks familiar to these officers, but the driver doesn't. When they ask for identification, the driver responds by revving the engine.
No, hey.
The mystery suspect gets the jump on pursuing officers. Speeds quickly reach 80 miles an hour on these small town streets. Stop signs become a blur. Up ahead, a red light and a railroad crossing. The suspect flies over the tracks. But at these speeds, it's hopeless.
Start rescue.
The driver hits a pole and it's all over. The suspect was treated for minor injuries and booked on felony evasion and recklessness. He turns out to be a local football coach, well known and well liked. So why did he run? And why didn't the officers recognize him? At the time, he was wearing a wig and women's clothing.
The police don't want to make the situation worse. They want the chase to end. They don't want people hurt. They don't want people humiliated.
Brea, California.
We have a helicopter and units chasing you.
Holy cow. You know what I'm dressed like? Brand new dress on. That's what I got. Now they'll see me all dressed up like this, and then they want to take me down and parade me around in front of everybody in the jail.
This fleeing driver called 911 on his cell phone and was patched through to the dispatch operator.
Can you pull over for our police units?
Well, when I get the makeup off, I will.
Okay.
Hope this don't make the Channel 4 news. I mean, it's not like I'm a robber or nothing.
So do you have your makeup off?
Looking here, trying.
He finally pulls into an out-of-the-way parking lot. The officers know the man probably isn't a threat, but they still have to follow procedure.
Oh, man, you're going to boss. Okay, he's hollering at me now.
Okay, follow his instructions.
The man emerges from the truck, but not completely. The officers quickly place him in custody.
Anybody else inside the car? This is Brad Police Department.
An officer carefully looks inside the man's truck. On the front seat, a wig and the man's street clothes. Relieved, the officer can't help but smile. Wanted only for a minor license plate violation, the man was too embarrassed to stop. Now he faces a felony charge, and even more embarrassment, all because he chose to run. Los Angeles, where the cameras are always rolling.
I'm showing my speed at 100 miles an hour just to keep up with this guy right now.
This felon is only 3 months out of prison, but from the way he drives his stolen pickup, he's anxious to go back.
Now in the left-hand turn lane on the wrong side of the road, there's pedestrians. He just misses a pedestrian.
The country watches in horror as he circles his neighborhood. Then he drives by his house where his sister makes a desperate plea for him to surrender.
Someone in the road right there trying to stop this pursuit. Somebody is running this vehicle here. She tried to get into the vehicle.
Millions of viewers gasp as the man peels out, leaving her sprawled on the pavement. The man rages on, even as the truck disintegrates. It takes over an hour for the abused vehicle to fall apart.
Oh, there goes the tire. There goes the tire. He's running on the rim only at this time.
But the man keeps going.
He's boxed in here. Oh, he smashed into a vehicle. He's getting out of the vehicle. out of the vehicle. He got into that van. Looks like he's carjacking another vehicle here.
The victim in the minivan tries to escape, but his seatbelt holds him back. The suspect punches the gas.
The vehicle's going. Now this is now a hostage situation. They're stopping. The vehicle is stopping at this time. The person is trying to get out. Oh no, he's being dragged!
The man tumbles out of the door, but his arm snags the belt again. He's dragged along the concrete before he falls free. The suspect races on, completely out of control.
He's had total disregard for the red lights. Smashes. Oh, look at that truck just being tossed around here.
This chase has all the signs of ending in tragedy.
We're now hearing from the dispatcher that the party will shoot the police. That's what he told his mother. He will shoot the police.
Police prepare to ram the vehicle, but the suspect dodges their every move. Back on the freeway, he accelerates to almost 100 miles an hour, and then he loses it.
Oh, the vehicle's out of control.
The van skids into the freeway wall. 2 tires are blown.
And this is going to come to an end right here. Suspect getting out. This is very dangerous. He's running across the center divider, runs across the opposite lanes of traffic. We've got 3 air units overhead right now.
But the wildly manic suspect is finally brought to a halt by a chain link fence.
There he is. You see him. He's on the ground.
In a city where spectacles are king, this one had everyone on the edge of their seats. Incredibly, no one was seriously injured. And the police got their man. A terrifying news event with a true Hollywood ending. Helena, Montana. The pursuit of this blue pickup started as a license plate violation. Now, because the driver won't stop, it's felony evasion. When another unit tries to block him, the suspect simply goes around. And when he approaches this roadblock, he finds a chink in the armor.
He's going around you, Dave.
He hits an officer's car and goes around again. But when he can't get around this deputy, he rams her at 60 miles an hour. She goes flying off the road. Now it's assault with a deadly weapon.
You okay, girl?
Officers have had enough. They know this is one suspect who won't hesitate to roll over anything that gets in his way. And right now, he's headed for town.
Try and get a couple units in front of me.
The officer who was just rammed, Deputy Carol Schumacher, volunteers to take the lead. Now watch on the left. She races up and pulls even. The suspect tries to sideswipe her off the road. But she holds her ground and squeezes ahead.
You almost had you.
The suspect is desperate to get back in the lead. He accelerates between the units, but Officer Schumacher closes in. Risking her life to end this chase, she perfectly wedges the suspect between the 2 cars. Without a shot being fired or harm to innocent life, this chase is over.
A police officer would probably prefer to do anything other than be involved in a police shooting. That's probably the hardest decision they'll ever have to make in their career or their life.
Evening rush hour, Los Angeles, California.
Suspect now on the right-hand shoulder. LAPD air unit overhead. You can see its spotlight illuminating the suspect's vehicle.
How does a simple traffic violation end up in a high-speed tragedy? This started as a simple car stop. The driver took off and is now roaring down the freeway in this powerful pickup.
The automobile swerving to get out of the suspect's way. This is very erratic driving, very dangerous. Now taking the off-ramp here at DeSoto. People trying to scramble out of the suspect's way. Suspect wanted for failure to yield.
Back on the boulevard, the suspect changes lanes and races against traffic.
Still moving on the wrong side of the road. People trying to scramble out of the suspect's way.
What is this man running from? He has no warrants. He works in a family-run business. Even his truck is new. His running seems incomprehensible.
We have a lot of congestion up ahead, a lot of cross traffic.
127 ground units are surrounding the vehicle.
Okay, suspects on the island. Okay, pulling ahead. Okay, TA, traffic accident. Okay, second and third traffic accident. Suspect's tires are squealing. You can see the smoke. Officers are now on foot. Weapons raised. They're telling the suspect to stop. Oh, man, an officer almost got crushed by the automobile.
The driver swerves beneath the overpass, hits the wall. Then gunshots are heard.
I believe a shot has been fired.
An officer finally puts an end to this insanity. Officers run toward the scene. All they know is there's been a shooting.
LAPD is now asking for a rescue ambulance.
Afterwards, the lieutenant in charge explains what happened.
One officer fired one round at the suspect, striking him in the upper body.
The overpass is swarming with squad cars and rescue units, but it's too late for the suspect. Now we'll never know what drove this man on his senseless journey through the city streets. What we do know is that for the price of a traffic ticket, a man ends up paying with the loss of his life. And the officer who was forced to fire that fatal shot, he will live forever with the terrible question. Why?
I believe a shot has been fired.
Why did he run?
One of the saddest and most dangerous situations a police officer faces is when domestic violence spills out into the street.
Campbell County, Tennessee. The man behind the wheel of this truck has just come from a violent argument with his girlfriend. What the police don't know is that he's armed and very dangerous.
I ain't telling you no more. Now put your hand on the front wheel.
He's got a gun!
The driver takes off, weaving from lane to lane at 70 miles an hour. The suspect threatens to run officers off the road.
You fall over the road, I won't let nobody find us, see?
But this driver isn't content with mere threats.
711 County, he has fired a shot at me.
Now the suspect is wanted for attempted murder of a police officer. He fires again. This time at the vehicles in front of him.
Central, he is firing at other traffic.
Deputies realize innocent lives are at stake. They increase their firepower.
Hey, we need a shotgun. Marty, bring a shotgun out.
Once the suspect is clear of other traffic, the officers make their move. An officer gets into position and shoots out the truck's right rear tire.
The tire's blowed out. He's losing control. Watch out.
Listing dangerously to the right, the truck exits.
He's headed westbound.
When the suspect stops under the bridge, officers rush to the truck.
Hands up! Put your hands up!
But when the driver starts firing at officers, the officers have no choice.
Oh, he's down! He's down!
The result is the only one possible for a man who clearly would not be taken alive. Inside the truck, deputies find 3 handguns and a rifle, along with marijuana and cocaine. One officer sustained a minor wound and was back on the job the next day. Anger, gun. Sacramento, California. A lone man in a white Escort dances with death, reaching speeds of 110 miles an hour in rush hour traffic.
This guy looks like he's on a suicide mission. He doesn't care who's in his way.
Starts out as a domestic violence call. A husband running from the law after brutally beating his wife. But the chase takes a desperate turn as the suspect veers directly into oncoming traffic.
Careful up there. He's all over the place. He's all over the road.
The suspect swerves from lane to lane like a man possessed, back and forth across cement median, from freeways to side streets.
Oh, he almost lost it. Oh, he nearly hit that grass embankment.
Miraculously, no one is hurt. But this road race to hell is far from over.
The police are right on his tail. He's right behind this guy. You can tell they want to take him down. They're just being cautious. They don't want to cause casualties, but he has to be stopped.
As the suspect races for an off-ramp, police finally see a chance to force him off the road.
It's over. It's over. The car is upside down. The police unit rammed the suspect's car, and it's flipped upside down. Wait a minute. Okay, the suspect is out of the car, and this guy just won't give up. Well, the cops are all over him. This guy is not going anywhere.
The nightmare is finally over. With charges including spousal abuse, evading arrest, and auto theft, this wife beater is now himself a beaten man. Boston. It's 4 in the morning when State Police Officer Mike Fiore spots a stolen car.
I got a pursuit, Tremont Street, gray Toyota.
At 70 miles an hour, the suspect races toward a red light.
It appeared he attempted to run over Boston PO, okay? Coming up to Washington Street.
Not expecting other traffic on the road at this hour, the suspect increases his speed to 80. Up ahead, a driver is pulling over for the sirens. With the entire lane open to the suspect's left, avoiding this car should be easy. Not for this suspect. He actually thinks he can pass this car on the right. Wrong.
He just crashed into a car. Stand by.
Incredibly, he speeds up. but his engine is badly damaged. It starts to smoke. Officer Fiore guns it, forcing him to a stop. This chase is over. Los Angeles. As day turns to dusk, a black Jetta streaks down the highway. Police patrol and air units are in fast pursuit.
You can see one unit right behind him, very close right now. At this point, LAPD, all they want this guy for is failure to yield.
The man races at speeds nearing 90 miles an hour, but strangely, he seems more concerned with fashion than with a failure to yield.
Now, what's he doing? Looks like he's trying to put on or take off a necklace.
Using only his knees to drive, the suspect keeps cops at bay.
Okay, it looks like we're accelerating a little bit from 80 to 100 miles an hour. Looks like he's adjusted his neckwear.
The now well-dressed man puts the pedal to the floor, leaving the police in the dust.
And we're coming up on the 710 freeway. Very high rate of speed now, about 100 miles an hour he's accelerating to. And now he's using both hands to steer.
With speeds over 100 miles an hour, this guy better be holding almost everything he's got.
Yeah, he's really moving now. Oh, all across all lanes of freeway there. Now back over to the right lane.
The police ground unit can't keep up with the Jetta black bullet.
He's about to lose it, looks like. He's in the right shoulder, passing this man, but he doesn't look like he's got a lot of control over the car, does he? Oh, God, that car almost lost it. Oh, man. That vehicle recovered, but this guy's continuing south.
There's now more at stake than a failure to yield.
Okay, he looks like this guy's now wanted for assault with a deadly weapon. He hit that vehicle. Oh, look at him now. Oh, he's going the wrong way on the freeway. Oh, he's going the wrong way on the freeway. Northbound 605 on the southbound side. Oh, and he's now foot-failed. He foot-failed. And the car's still rolling. The car is still rolling. He foot-failed. He's running across the freeway. And he's over the wall. He gets off the freeway. He's under those trees now. Foot-failed. Police officers. And he's still running. Okay, they got him now. They tackle him. They're on him now. And now the LAPD, they have subdued this guy, but he looks like he's not going easily.
Pursuits are always dangerous, but this guy is lucky. He didn't kill himself or anyone else. Now he has a set of bracelets to match his necklace. They're called handcuffs. Los Angeles, a bank robber flees with thousands of dollars, but the cops are right behind him, and now his getaway car is on fire. Suddenly, the suspect jumps from his car. It's now a foot pursuit. This guy may be fast, but he's out of control. Suddenly tumbling head over heels. Throwing a punch, the hostile suspect continues to fight. But he's no match for the 5 officers who wrestle him to the ground. As they do, hundreds of dollars spill from his pockets. Now this ball guy is taking a real trip, straight to federal prison. Vicious cycles, crazed cars, and bodacious buses. They'll not only run from the law, sometimes they'll run right at the law.
A cop's life is about unpredictability. At the beginning of the day, you have no idea what you're going to see in those next 8 hours.
Manchester, New Hampshire. Flames devour a man's truck on the freeway. Officer Chris Acoyne is busy finishing up assistance to the victim when another emergency erupts. A fleeing felon, well ahead of pursuing officers, is about to tear right through this accident scene. Officer Chris Acoyne throws his cruiser into gear and joins the pursuit.
Come on.
At 100 plus, he catches up to the suspect. The driver darts wildly for the right shoulder.
Hang on, ladies.
In one swift move, he gets past everything that was blocking him. He pushes his powerful 260Z to its limit. It starts to spark. Officer Coyne pushes his own car to the limit.
My legs get tired from pushing the pedal to the floor.
In another daring end run, the suspect suddenly slices over 3 lanes to exit. Undaunted, the officer quickly steers into the mud. He must catch up.
Hang on.
The suspect is spun out on the exit ramp. The officer thinks this chase is over. It's not. Catching up again, the officer suddenly sees two headlights coming straight at him. He tries to block the suspect, but ends up getting blocked himself.
He just hit my cruiser.
The suspect tries another desperation move.
He's going off the road.
This time cutting down a steep embankment. Big mistake.
He's driving into the swamp.
Once again, Officer Coyne stays right with him.
Right here.
The man is found moments later, cowering in the swamp. The stench is overpowering. But a swamp will seem like paradise compared to where he's going next. He's looking at 19 years on a variety of charges, including drug dealing and assault on an officer. Los Angeles. Police spot a black truck speeding through a residential neighborhood. As police try to stop him, the speeder makes a wild turn that would have killed anyone in his path. The officers intentionally spin him out, thinking he might bolt. They proceed to box him in. Police call this the pit maneuver. It takes experience, expert driving skill, and professional teamwork to pull it off, and these officers perform it flawlessly.
But we felt it was necessary to use legal intervention, basically to twist the vehicle around to stop him from going any farther in hopes that he would not injure anybody else.
They have him in custody.
From first call to arrest, the entire incident takes less than 4 minutes. San Bernardino, California. Like a scene from Easy Rider, this biker's looking for adventure, speeding down the highway with police hot on his tail.
He's at about 100 miles an hour. He just about got nailed.
Taunting the cops at every turn, the biker screams through lanes of traffic, defying officers' attempts to pull him over. Finally, the suspect appears to be giving up.
Stopping north of 395, beyond the car. Watch out.
But it's a trick. The biker pretends to slow down, then speeds up, heading straight for a dirt road where he thinks the cops can't follow.
Okay, he's gone off the freeway now.
But a police car can be a dirt bike too, and the cops are right on his tail.
Eastbound from Maple Avenue.
Back on surface streets, police officers finally move in and arrest the suspect. Now this speed demon is headed for prison. Orlando, Florida. This cyclist is driving at night without a headlight. Cops pull him over, but he decides to run.
You are 24 minimum, go ahead.
Up ahead, a taxi cab is turning left, straight into the path of the soaring cyclist. The biker barrels into the side of the cab. He's thrown onto the pavement. The cab is crushed. Amazingly, the passengers are not hurt. The cyclist's blood alcohol level tests 2.5 times the legal limit.
When you're chasing motorcycles, what makes it so dangerous is the incredible amount of speed they can get up to in just a few seconds.
Los Angeles, California. In one of the fastest chases ever, a man bolts on his motorcycle when an undercover cop tries to stop him. Watch as he races right past a waiting officer on his own cycle.
The suspect has no regard for stoplights, stop signs, now traveling on surface streets off of Imperial at 120 miles an hour. He's wanted for 245, assault with a deadly weapon. Back on the freeway, westbound 91. Right now, we're just amazed that nobody has been killed, including the driver. This is one of the most dangerous pursuits. Wanted for assault with a deadly weapon, using the motorcycle as that deadly weapon. He's had numerous close calls, almost hit a car, and now moving, continuing eastbound. Now moving at, we're showing 100 miles an hour, accelerating, passing a big rig. This suspect being chased by the Garden Grove Police Department, at least initially. They gave up the ground pursuit, turned it over to the air units, and so far the air units have been trailing the suspect. This is a red Honda, speeds in excess of 120 miles an hour. Yeah, this is a fool. And then now off the freeway, and I gotta tell you something, those speeds, some of those high speeds were on surface streets through residential neighborhoods. There he goes. There he goes. Suspect down, suspect down.
Amazingly, the suspect is still not subdued. His adrenaline is pumping so hard, he doesn't even know this chase is over.
He's now struggling. He's struggling with the police. He's actually fighting the police officer.
But the fight is finished and the wild ride over. Now this bad boy biker is trading his mean machine for a hospital gurney and some serious jail time. A K-9 unit consists of 2 officers. One of them happens to be a dog. The two are partners, but the relationship is a lot more than just that. Mess with a cop's dog, you've got real problems. Santa Ana, California. An enraged man with a history of domestic abuse runs from the law after threatening to kill his wife. The man barrels through these suburban streets with the fury of a madman. Half a dozen police bring up the rear. It's time this desperate daredevil's joyride is stopped. Spike strips in the center lane pierce his tires. The rubber shreds instantly. He rides on his rim, swerving crazily from side to side, back and forth in front of pursuing officers. He finally loses control. But he still doesn't give up. Because he's believed to be armed, a K-9 unit is brought in to help subdue him. Unbelievably, the suspect tries to assault the police dog. Not too smart. In a K-9 unit, dogs are definitely a cop's best friend. Attempting to beat an officer's K-9 partner, pure insanity. He claims to have a broken leg, but as the cops apprehend the suspect, he easily walks away. Now he's facing multiple charges, including assault on a police dog. And the dog, a biscuit for a job well done. Red line, full throttle, pedal to the metal. Exhilarating moments, terrifying consequences. Jacksonville, Florida. On a lazy summer morning, Officer Otto Bottin stops a suspect for driving with his feet up on the dashboard. A quick radio check reveals that this may be a stolen car.
He said, come on out of the car.
When the suspect refuses to comply, the patrolman gets his pepper spray ready.
Take care of it. Come on out of the car.
He sprays, but too late. Officer Bottin is almost dragged beneath the wheels. There's obviously more to this than careless driving, and the troopers are right on him.
This subject just took off. He drug Trooper Bottin a little bit.
The suspect has a fast little car and thinks he can outwit his pursuers. Cutting left, he doubles back, trying to lose the cops in heavier traffic.
Cross the median.
With no respect for the safety of other vehicles, the suspect barrels through. Concerned for the innocent public, the trooper tries to pull over. The fugitive, however, doesn't give him the chance.
10-4, I think he hit McIntosh.
Spinning out on an exit ramp, the suspect drives back toward the highway.
He just run into 425.
Taking the next exit, he thinks he's home free.
Okay, he's southbound on 115.
But the officers have a surprise waiting.
Another unit ahead of me. Back off. The city's going to take him out.
They steer him toward Sheriff Marcus Andrews, poised with a shotgun. In an amazing display of marksmanship, Andrews shoots out the left rear tire.
He just shot at the car, Jax. DSO just shot at the car. He's still running.
Andrews' unerring aim hits the tire dead on as the car passes, doing almost 70 miles an hour. You can see the smoke as the left rear tire explodes. With the punctured tire shredding on the rim, the suspect re-enters the freeway. But it's no use. Up ahead, officers have forced the crippled car to the median. Brought down by one amazing shot, the contemptuous car thief can run no more. Moments ago, he was driving with his feet up. Not a care in the world. Now, thanks to one alert officer, the man will have plenty of time to put his feet up. 10 long years. The police see every side of human nature. That's what makes this job so interesting. But at times, the things that people do are so hard to understand, so puzzling, that when everything is said and done, you are only left with questions. Dallas, Texas. A helicopter monitors every mile as this grueling chase continues at speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour.
Right now, several police department agencies are involved in this pursuit. That's the car down there. It is a white Buick. Looks like they may be getting ready to do a move. Oh, looks like he's going to be northbound. It's now turned into a dirt road, and looks like this road is about to make a sharp 90-degree turn. There's an unmarked police car right on his tail.
The police are being particularly careful because they've discovered the man's wife is in the car and that she's 8 months pregnant.
Oh, there's a car coming the other direction about a mile up ahead. As a matter of fact, it is a sheriff's deputy.
Watch as the driver sees the approaching deputy and then suddenly pulls across the road, inviting the deputy into a head-on collision.
The car pulled off the road, let him by.
Miraculously, the deputy pulls off the road just in time to avoid a disaster.
It's real stressful. I mean, you want to catch the suspect, but it was obvious that his speed never did slow, never did fluctuate, and he wasn't going to stop.
It looked like the fugitive was playing chicken, and they're headed right towards the town of Denton.
But before they can get to Denton, luck runs out. The driver tries a series of bizarre twists and turns.
He reversed direction here. He started on one side of the road, went to the other side of the road, turned around. Of course, the police were following him.
He's turning back on his own trail and eluding the cars behind him.
He went behind the first two police cars.
He rams past another patrol car, runs through a barrier, and incredibly, he speeds away. But he's just going too fast for the road. And once that heavy car starts to fishtail, it's all over.
He started to lose it, went to the left, went back to the right, skidded, and hit a fence and a tree, hit a telephone pole.
Wisely, the man makes no further resistance.
He came out with his hands up. They had him boxed in, and there was nowhere to go.
Amazingly, the woman was not injured in the crash, but she sits, staring in shock, unable to move, as her husband surrenders. You wonder if this man thought even once about the danger to his unborn child. This is actual in-progress footage of Grand Theft Auto. A man breaks into a truck. He smashes the window. The alarm goes off, but he doesn't care. He's behind the wheel and gone in 60 seconds. Next stop, Mexico, where he can sell it easily, but he has to get across the border first. He meets up with the other car thieves in his gang, and together they try to enter Mexico at the busiest time of the day. Here, U.S. Customs stops a stolen Suburban. The thief knows he's spotted and suddenly makes a mad dash for the Mexican border. He rams a tourist, pushing him through. The guards chase him on foot, but he breaks free, for now. On the American side, the rest of his gang head back for the States. But Customs takes one of them down. Within hours, he gives up the names of his partners. Over 20,000 attempts are made each year to take stolen vehicles into Mexico. But thanks to U.S. Customs, more and more thieves are learning it's just not worth it. When it comes to speed, this could be the most outrageous chase we've ever seen. In this exclusive interview, we spoke with the suspect.
I was just trying to get back in the city. If I could get back in the city, I thought I could get away.
Jared Fitzgerald streaks through the Arizona desert at 165 miles an hour.
This car has been reported stolen and so far has outrun the DPS officers for a good 30 miles.
This Corvette was built for one thing, speed. And with no police ahead of him, this suspect has a real chance of outrunning the cops behind him.
He'll have some work cut out for him up ahead here. There are several big rigs in a row that he's going to have to negotiate somehow. He's passing the first on the right shoulder. Very dangerous maneuver as it needs to be. He's fishtailing. Oh, there he goes. He's hit. He's hit. This car is shattered into 1,000 pieces.
Smashing into the rear of the truck, the car disintegrates and the suspect is thrown from the wreckage. He skids along the desert floor, literally flying by the seat of his pants.
He's moving. The suspect is sitting up. He's sitting up. He's still alive. Incredibly, this driver is still alive. He's on his stomach now. He's waiting for the police. But still, the cops are not taking any chances.
This could be the luckiest man in the world. 165 miles an hour, no seatbelt, smashes into a truck and not a scratch on him. This Corvette is a total wreck. It's not going anywhere. In fact, the only thing moving are the windshield wipers.
Yeah, I've been chased by the cops before. I wasn't worried about wrecking. I was actually the least of my worries at the time. I kept on thinking I could get away. I wasn't thinking about the consequences.
Due to the graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised. As fast as they run, as hard as they push, try as they might, the only place these guys are going is down. The Los Angeles freeway system. It can be scary enough for people who live here, but for a newcomer who's running from the law at over 100 miles an hour, it can be a nightmare. Los Angeles, pursuit capital of the world.
What's your 20? We're still southbound.
Straight out of Bakersfield, two armed robbers come barreling into the LA basin at 110 miles an hour.
Incredible speed. They've been running now for about an hour and a half. Okay, they're blocked. He's pushing between those two cars. They got through.
This driver is learning the hard way. With LA freeways, you get LA traffic. But unlike most natives, he's forcing his way through.
Looks like they're heading towards South Central. This has got to be a long way from Bakersfield for these guys.
The suspects discover the carpool lane, but they find themselves headed straight for a guardrail. Suddenly, they're fishtailing, swerving out of control.
Losing it. We just hit the divider. Turn around.
They try to re-enter the freeway, but the lane is blocked. They narrowly avoid the guardrail, but they can't regain control. Their vehicle totaled, the armed suspects leap from the car, then leap again, 12 feet under the busy highway below.
Oh, unbelievable. These guys are crossing one of the busiest highways in Los Angeles.
Another wall, another jump, this time 20 feet, more than 2 stories down.
Oh, and they just keep going.
An unmarked police car screeches onto the scene. As the suspect leaps over the fence, thousands of dollars spill from his pockets. One suspect cuts through a yard. The other races down an alley.
We're right on top of him. He jumps over another fence. I'll just stay with these suspects right here. Still running down the alley. There's a garage just around the corner. Oh, God, he scared that woman there.
Looking for cover, or maybe another getaway car, the man ducks into this garage.
One suspect in custody. There's the other one, code 4.
In a town known for being tough on clueless drivers, these two bozos never had a chance. Today they've learned that when you run from the law in LA, you better be ready to bite the dust. Cerritos, California. A brand new Mercedes-Benz is stolen at gunpoint by 3 vicious carjackers. But thanks to the anti-theft tracking device installed in the vehicle, police know exactly where to find it. Knowing they've been spotted, the driver picks up speed. The car that was built for the German Autobahn scorches down the highway, leaving the police behind. And then it happens. The carjackers crash, causing a second car to explode into a ball of flames.
Suspect vehicle was crashed.
Down the road, 2 suspects are spotted. Police know they're armed. They get their weapons ready.
Do you have any weapons on you?
No, sir.
They find a third man thrown from the car, face down on the highway. He's stunned, but not injured. The cop jumps as the flaming car explodes.
Spread your feet out. Spread your hands out.
The Mercedes is totaled, but police learn that the burning car is carrying explosive materials.
Come here, man.
Suddenly, there's no time for niceties. They pull the man away, still unsure if he's a suspect or a victim.
Put your hands behind your back.
The flames leap higher and higher. There's another explosion. The cops have to find cover now. They have no choice but to keep dragging the man. The cop even fears for the cameraman's safety.
Get back! Go!
Incredibly, the car explodes again. But thanks to fast-acting officers, everyone is now safe, including the victim of the accident, the man whose life they just saved. This is exactly why police are so anxious to stop a chase, because you never know how it's going to end.
In a pursuit, you can't gauge the danger of the suspect on how goofy he looks.
Westphalia, Germany. In what has to be the slowest pursuit ever, police try to stop a man who's apparently stayed too long at the Oktoberfest. At least he has the sense to avoid oncoming traffic. But he can't seem to remember if the Westphalians drive on the right side or the left. Looks like he wants to play chicken with this oncoming lorry, but the driver stops. The biker swings out of his way just in time. He finally pulls over. Exhausted from his pursuit, he decides to have a seat and wait. Bad idea. The man now faces an impossible task, getting to his feet. But his cigarette seems to be weighing him down. so he tosses it away. He continues his battle to get vertical, and the police eventually, mercifully, take him in. This man fought the law, and the law won. Newark, New Jersey. The police pull up just as the young men from the car on the left have finished hot wiring the car on the right. The thieves are caught red-handed. Watch how they scramble to get away. However, they can. Both cars tear off, not waiting for their unlucky partners caught outside. The driver accelerates around the corner, almost losing his friend. They race through this quiet park at breakneck speeds, passing a huge truck on a blind corner at 75 miles an hour. The police slow down, but by the time they get to the street, the car thieves have disappeared. Then suddenly, one car full of suspects with a poor sense of direction passes the cops coming from behind. They cut right in front of the police and speed off recklessly. Because of the dangerous nature of this chase and the traffic at the time, the officer wisely called the chase off. No car thief in the world is worth the loss of innocent life. And the kind of honor among these thieves is only too apparent, as this driver risks his friends' lives to make a fast getaway. But not before the police made a positive ID. Within a week, they were all arrested.
In any pursuit, the cops and the crooks are going to have the same reactions. You're going to be scared. Your ears are going to ring. You're going to sweat. Your heart's going to pound. But the cop's training is going to help him focus through it.
Garland, Texas. Pursuit of a robbery suspect armed with a shotgun.
Dallas police began the pursuit. Texas DPS has now taken the lead.
This is exactly the type of heart-pounding chase that cops hate. Heavy traffic and a desperate suspect.
I have seen him at times up to 90 miles an hour. He's on the inside lane, which is fortunate for the rest of the driving traffic.
This man is willing to take any risk, suddenly pulling off the road, then pulling back into oncoming traffic.
As he was passing, he had a lot of stuff in the back of his truck, and stuff was flying out, and I can see that the troopers were very cautious how they approached the truck.
The police are trying to get the entrances to the freeway closed.
So they are getting ahead of at some of the on-ramps here and stopping the flow of traffic. But obviously, you can't stop every car at this time of the afternoon, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Watch what happens as he tries to weave through the heavy traffic to get ahead of the police.
Yeah, Sean, we're hearing now that the Garland Police Department is involved in the chase also. And it looks like they've taken up positions behind the Texas DPS. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, it's turned over. The truck just crashed.
He misjudges by inches, clips the left bumper on the truck, and never regains control. The police aren't taking any chances.
That's the vehicle. Texas DPS coming out with guns drawn. They've surrounded the vehicle, and they're waiting to see if there's any movement from inside the vehicle.
But the driver is unconscious, and everyone involved is still in shock.
He was in the lane, passed me in the lane right next to me, and cut across over in the fast lane. He was moving pretty good. Oh yeah. I mean, he was blowing traffic away.
It took 45 minutes to get the man out of the truck and get traffic moving again. And he was on his way to the hospital. To serve and protect. To pursue and arrest. No matter how difficult. No matter how dangerous. Being a cop.
He's backing up. He's backing up.
Just got a lot tougher. Fort Worth, Texas. A man with a blown-out tire and an inflated ego. A red pickup racer running from the law.
It's amazing. This guy's on a flat tire, but he's really hauling.
Shooting erratically across 4 lanes of highway, the suspect heads over the grass, meeting into oncoming traffic. It's only a matter of time before he hurts himself or somebody else.
Pulling off on the Walnut Hill exit. Coming up on a car. God, he's wobbling all over the road. Just missed that. Whoa!
Back on the road, the suspect nearly clips another car as he continues his three-wheeling free-for-all.
It looks like that tire is finally slowing him down. He's definitely having trouble steering the truck. Coming up on a big rig. Oh, it's amazing no one's been hurt.
Rounding the corner, the suspect makes his last turn. As the man almost loses his tire, he finally loses control. He plows into this fence.
He's just crashed. He's just crashed.
The suspect and his passenger are unharmed. Their final resting spot, appropriately, an auto parts junkyard. For one night, this city found itself held spellbound by a man who stole a bus and led police on a 4-hour chase. But no one realized that one officer suddenly found herself facing death. Brentwood, California. In the history of horrifying pursuits, there has seldom been an equal to this nightmare on the highway. It began in San Diego when a disturbed man was turned down for a job at a bus company. He stole the bus that was parked at the terminal and then led the police on a terrifying 4-hour chase.
It was a very unique chase. It was the most unique chase I've ever been in.
The police could only follow and watch because, after all, how do you stop a 15-ton bus?
Okay, on the 405 freeway, continuing to travel on the 405 freeway, California Highway Patrolman still following.
My partner and I ended up being the primary unit as it came down through Mulholland. Bus, big 3-axle bus, that's a lot of weight. So just having that large of a vehicle being driven by someone who obviously doesn't care what happens, that's what makes it dangerous.
Westbound Sunset Boulevard, almost getting out there, highway to speed. He's now skinning out. He's skinning out of control. This bus is out of control. Now he's moving out. He's okay. Across the center divider. Oh man, it's stopped. Will the pursuit stop? Cloud of smoke. No, he's still moving. Okay, coming off the off-ramp here at Sunset Boulevard. He's okay, out of control. Knocked out the lights, smashing the vehicle, smashing another vehicle into the intersection. Rear end accident. He's going now without lights. Police air unit overhead. California Highway Patrolmen are still in hot pursuit. He is now completely out of control. Sparks flying from this chain link fence that the driver has trapped underneath the bus. That is like a flying guillotine.
There was one point he was making turns on the roadway and he's dragging 15 to 20 feet of chain link fence. It's like crack the whip because the chain link fence is just spinning out and hitting cars. So he proceeded down Waterford, which is a dead-end street, and I pulled up behind him thinking we were going to do our normal felony stop, and I saw the backup lights.
Okay, he stopped. He stopped. Highway Patrolman now. Wait a minute, he's backing up. He's backing up. He's hitting the Highway Patrol units like toys. They're smashing up like toys.
Just came straight down the right side of my vehicle. Glass was flying. Sirens were going, and it hit those vehicles like they were matchbox cars. And the next thing I know, he's coming back forward towards my patrol vehicle. So I backed across up onto the sidewalk, and the bus went driving right by my front end, and I remember the driver looking right at me, just staring at me like, "You're next." I knew it was going to back up into me, so it was more of a last resort. If I'm going to die, I'm going to try and do something.
He stopped. Highway Patrolman firing on this bus. Shots have been fired, and he's backing up into a house. The man has struck the garage portion of a home.
There were bullets ricocheting inside the bus, and the only reason that he veered off the path was because he had to duck down. After he backed into the house, he just sat there with his hands gripped on the steering wheel, just staring out at all of us. One of the officers retrieved a crowbar and actually went up and broke the window and then was able to get the door open. And even at that point, ordering him out at gunpoint, he still wouldn't get out of the bus. And as of this time, he is in a mental institution. No defense attorney wanted him.
Luckily, this homeowner was not there when the bus crashed into her house.
My neighbors told me it was absolutely frightening with the gunfire and everything going on and the helicopters, and so it was pretty scary, and I'm glad I wasn't here.
This was actually the most scared I've ever been in pursuit. It's something I'll never forget.
Calumet City, Illinois. A man wanted for theft and aggravated assault runs from the law at over 100 miles an hour.
We're nearly an hour into this pursuit, and nothing seems to be slowing the suspect down.
At these speeds, the police have to stop this man now before somebody gets killed.
He's driving very recklessly.
What the man does next is unbelievable. Caught between the road and the river, he makes the one choice officers would never expect.
Oh, he's in the water. He has driven right into the Calumet River. The windows are down. The car is filling up with water. I believe the suspect is still inside the car. The police have just arrived. The car is sinking like a rock. Oh, an officer just dove into the water. He's pulling the suspect out.
As officers radio for help, the trooper struggles to keep from going under himself. Finally out of the water, the officers administer first aid to the waterlogged criminal. Trooper Mark Jackson doesn't even hesitate to jump into the water to save the suspect. He nearly gets sucked inside the car trying to pull the unconscious suspect out.
That was a close call. That car is completely underwater.
To serve and to protect, even the bad guy. Whenever high speed and desperate criminals mix, innocent life can hang in the balance. In one of the most gut-wrenching pursuits ever, a helicopter pilot was so devastated he could hardly speak. Police sirens suddenly tear through the quiet afternoon commute in Oceanside, California.
CHP unit there in chase, and this is the car that he's after.
A news chopper joins the chase started by a drunk driver who refuses to stop.
On the west Mass 78 here.
The chopper easily keeps up with the driver who's gunning the gas at a whopping 120 miles an hour. Officers want nothing more than to end this chase now. But if the cops can't stop them, a traffic jam will. An officer moves in cautiously.
They receive the CHP units. Okay, they're telling them to stop.
The chopper hovers over the action while the officer tries to negotiate with the driver.
Now he doesn't want to stop.
There's no bargaining.
You didn't see any weapons drawn there, just a highway patrolman saying, step out, let's talk about this. They have given this guy a chance just to surrender.
The suspect heads for the surface streets. He careens towards an intersection at 70 miles an hour. And then, the inevitable happens.
Oh boy, here we go. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm sorry, oh no. Oh no. This is terrible. This chase has just ended. Boy, I'm speechless, I'm sorry. Oh man. What a horrific crash.
The suspect runs a red light, with devastating results. Despite the wreckage, they must approach the scene cautiously. This terrible situation is exactly what police officers try their best to avoid. The officers now work twice as hard, apprehending the suspect and rescuing the victims.
It looks like the driver of the truck is out. He's okay. I personally haven't seen anybody come out of the Nissan 200 there. They're helping somebody out of the Jeep, the white Jeep right here at the top of your screen.
Incredibly, everyone survives the crash. The suspect is confined to a life support system for weeks. A chilling example of the consequences of drinking and driving.
The wait is almost over. The X-Files